So I made a thing because I know you sometimes struggle. That didn't come off as quite as well as it's supposed to.
Thank you. That's cute.
I'm going to put some glitter in at some point, but
yeah, that's definitely going to come in handy when we talk about certain two characters interacting.
I have two more.
Oh gosh.
Oh Lord.
For the audio only listeners, I have two fans. One of them I have written queer on, and one of them I have written subtext on. So, yeah. That might come in handy.
This is about something. The future.
Mysteries.
Prophecy.
Faith.
Struggle.
Tragedy.
Triumph. Purpose.
Justice. War.
Peace. Resistance.
Alliance.
Friendship.
And story.
Hi, friends.
Salutations.
And welcome.
This is 925, and we are here on a DS9 week to talk about past Prologue. I'm Sara Ezzat. I make the Fat Culture Critic videos on YouTube.
I'm Ren the Barbarian. I'm a Star Trek YouTuber.
And I'm Zylla Black, and I do Archeo gaming and political content on my YouTube channel, Zyllas Athenaeum.
And we had just released our very first introduction episode. So I have a couple comments that I will read at the end of. I think we'll do the comments at the end.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We are live. We are a thing.
Yes.
We have subscribers.
We're out there, and that's a threat, not a promise.
I mean, the way these things work, we'll have been live for about a month by the time the rest of you are seeing this, but hey ho, that's how things go.
Production schedules, what do you know?
Exactly. Yeah. So shall we do the summary?
Let's do the thing.
Past Prologue was written by Catherine Powers and directed by Winrich Colby. We open in the Replimat, where a rather attractive Cardassian man is looking at Bashir like he's on the menu. He introduces himself as Garrick. Plain, simple Garrick. A tailor, the only Cardassian left living on the station. And he's looking for, friendship. This all sends the Doctor into a seriously adorkable panic, and he bursts into command to tell everyone about his encounter with the spy. Yes, definitely a spy. A Cardassian spy. And of course, he's most eager to keep seeing Garrick. For intelligence purposes, you see, because he's a spy. Bashir's panic is interrupted by the arrival of a Bajoran ship being pursued by a Cardassian vessel. The injured occupant is beamed aboard, and Kira instantly recognizes him as her old Resistance comrade, Tana Loss. As he's being treated, Kira fills Sisko in on the details. Tana belongs to the Con Mar, a more extreme branch of the Resistance, who weren't satisfied with the Cardassian withdrawal, but are still fighting. Tana promises he's done with that and requests sanctuary, which Sisko grants after some consideration. But has Tana really given up his old ways? He's immediately playing mind games with Kira, and pretty soon he's seen in secret talks with visiting Klingon outlaws, the Duras sisters. Sisko and Odo know he's up to something, but they decide not to loop Kira in, at least not yet. She is so excited to help Tana rejoin Bajoran society, but soon he shows her he's still up to his old tricks. He's got a plan to make the Federation, the Cardassians, and everyone else leave Bajor for good. He says no one will be harmed, and he just needs her to get him access to a runabout. Meanwhile, Garrick has had a visit from the Duras sisters offering to deliver Tana to the Cardassians, for a price. They set up a time for negotiations in his tailor shop, a time when, conveniently, Garrick insists that Bashir must come and try on a new suit. Coincidentally, of course, overhearing the details of the planned rendezvous. Kira, struggling with her conscience, brings her worries to Odo, who helps her decide she needs to talk to Sisko. The crew now have a plan. Kira pilots the runabout with Tana as he buys bomb-making stuff from the Duruses. Then Sisko emerges from his nearby hiding spot to come arrest Tana. But Tana's not prepared to go quietly. There's a chase scene where he reveals his plan was to blow up the mouth of the wormhole, but Kira foils him at the last minute. As Odo arrests Tana, Kira and Sisko begin to learn to trust one another. So before we get to initial thoughts, I have a note on the writing. I said it was written by Catherine Powers, and for the record, that is the writer who notoriously wrote Code of Honor, and also Emancipation, I think it was called, the Stargate episode with the...
Yeah, I don't remember the name of it, but
yeah,
they're the same plot with the same...
But then she's listed, I used Memory Alpha to help with details, and they did list her as a writer, but apparently she's the solely credited writer on the episode, but the teleplay credits are only for the story, with producer Alan Fields being credited as the teleplay writer. That's according to Memory Alpha. So apparently, like, this was definitely a bit of a collaboration with bits from her and bits from him, and he invented Garrick. And apparently, she had some ideas that it's very good that they didn't do. She wanted Kira and Tana to be former lovers, and for him to turn good at the last minute and then die. And this story is definitely better for having her not write the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so initial thoughts on this episode.
First off, I would have stopped watching instantly from the cringe of that first scene with Garrick and Bashir. Like, I legit paused the video and walked away from my computer. Like, no, I have to finish this. Like, that was just, no, absolutely not. Why are people like this?
Really?
That's one of my favorite scenes.
I love it.
Oh, no. Oh, so cringe. So cringe. Like, man, get a grip on yourself. Like, the panic I understand, but just... Can you be normal for 2 seconds?
No,
he can't. And I don't like him. I'm sure I will eventually. I'm sure he'll get better.
I will say a lot of people struggle with Bashir in the first couple, maybe 3 seasons, but he gets better.
That's kind of what I figure. Or I wouldn't have been hearing the Garrick and Bashir story longer than I've been hearing anything else about this entire series. I was actually way more interested in the Kira Tana plot.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that it was interestingly heavy-handed in a way that I see reflected a lot of times when we talk about terrorists and freedom fighters.
we'll definitely be digging into that later.
Yeah.
It is important to note this is pre 9/11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is
Unmistakable.
Other initial thought was, why do the Klingon women have boob windows?
Rick Berman.
Yeah. And
I mean, I did know that answer was coming, but still.
And probably, William Werthies and Weiss and yeah. Star Trek. Trek's gonna Star Trek.
In my mind, I've always nicknamed Lursa and Baitor the Boobsy twins.
I mean, we've also got, really obvious moose knuckle on Tana Los a lot of the time.
It's equality.
It's not, but
it's not.
But it's more equal than it was in the 60s.
I didn't actually notice.
Really? Okay, well, Ren, give us some gay panic.
When I think back on this episode, I remember the Garrick parts. I said last time that Jadzia is my favorite character, and I was partially telling the truth. She is my favorite of the main cast. My favorite character in DS9 overall is Garrick. And so I was so thrilled when that scene opened on him and Julian. I was like, oh, I forgot that he came in this early. But I love Garrick. I love his dynamic with Bashir. So I was really excited to see them. But yeah, that's mainly what I remember when I think back on this episode. I'd forgotten how genuinely good the writing is in this episode. The character development with Kira, the inner conflict of like, do I stick to my freedom fighter roots or do I, try and more align myself with this new order that I've, put myself in. It was really good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I love it. I also, like I said, I mostly just remember the flirting, and I think other people's flirting is always cringy. Like the initial stages of a relationship is always a bit cringe. It's just some of us kind of enjoy that particular species of cringe more than others.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm usually all for it, but there was just something in this particular interaction. I think it was just Bashir. like Garrick, I didn't mind. Even when he was literally heavy-handed on Bashir's shoulders, like I was like, that's actually pretty funny.
I've always seen Bashir as like the younger brother of Deep Space Nine, and so like I just it's always like I love him, but I also love to laugh at him.
Yeah, I guess I was just thinking, like, are you 5?
Yes, pretty boy. Yeah. This is why I call adorkable guy by panic, because boy likes me. Is relatable.
Here's a time thing that will
thing.
Here's a time thing that will mess with your head. Canonically, Julian Bashir and Wesley Crusher, same age. Same graduating class at the academy.
Mm-hmm. Garrick is played by Andrew Robertson, and he has been explicit. Robinson, sorry. He is explicit that he played this as, I want to fuck him.
Mm-hmm. There's a famous clip where he's like talking about or Robinson is like, they told me that I was playing like, a spy, and I'm like, I don't know how to do that. And then I get to set and I see Alexander and he's just so attractive. I'm like, oh, I want to fuck him. I know how to play that.
And I think like Bashir is like, boy is flirting with me. Is he flirting with me? It's just kind of, if you find that sort of thing adorable, then it's adorable. But I understand why you find it cringe.
Their initial relationship reminds me a lot of Katniss and Peeta from the Hunger Games, because Peeta's over here being all Mr. Loverboy, and Katniss is over here like, you're trying to kill me. I don't trust you. Grr, hiss.
Yeah, there's lots of other aspects of Bashir's character that frustrates me, especially in the early seasons. But I like when he's sort of like a mix of like a 12-year-old boy and an arrogant doctor that thinks he knows everything.
Heavily autistic coded, basically.
Like every character, practically. Well, not Sisko, not so much, but a lot of the characters are a bit autistic coded.
I have seen a lot of people headcanon Sisko as autistic, though, because he is so into baseball, like it's a hyperfixation.
Okay, why not?
I'll claim him for the ADHD side because of his response to dangerous situations.
But I think this is a great episode for like advancing some of the Bajoran political stuff, and specifically Kira and Sisko's relationship.
Oh yeah, so good. Such great stuff.
Yeah. And so, yeah, let's move on to talking about the deeper stuff.
I relate to Kira a whole heck of a lot in a lot of ways. In particular, the my boss isn't listening to me and doesn't deserve to be my boss sort of feeling is one that I am intensely familiar with.
That's most bosses, honestly.
I come from academia where there's a dean to go to, but if you do, there are consequences. So, while I don't think that I was ever quite in the position where I would have gone over Sisko's head in that particular way, I very much got why she reacted the way that she did, and also the combination of this is the obvious best thing for everybody. Why is it not so? Why is it not clear to other people? Why would, like, obviously, if you have any resistance to that, you're just wrong.
Yeah.
But I really did love the reaction that Sisko had of showing Kira that he can be trusted to really give her word consideration. And also, if you go over my head again, I'll have yours on a platter.
I love that moment. I was like I said, it's been a long time since I watched this episode. So when she was talking to the Admiral like over his head, I was like, I couldn't believe that. I was like, after having worked more than a few jobs, I was like, holy shit, you can't just skip over your boss and go to your boss's boss like that. That'll get you in major trouble. I loved Sisko's reaction to it. Like, he did the right thing by her. Like, he didn't let what Kira did to screw him over mess with his judgment on that case. But he also laid down the law and said, hey, I am your boss. You do not go over my head.
Mm-hmm.
I loved that. Oh, incidentally, the Admiral Rollman, that is Leonard Nimoy's wife, Susan Nimoy.
Yeah.
That's cute. For a bit part, she actually had a lot of presence.
Yeah.
I actually thought that they did a nice job with that of A, bringing in a woman admiral. Good job.
Mm-hmm.
And B, like, even though she only had like 3 lines total, she was a character.
Mm-hmm.
I was impressed.
And I think it's not only a matter of the relationship between her needing to learn to trust Sisko, but also her learning how to work in a structure, because she has been in like a terrorist cell and resistance work. It's completely different. Showing her struggling with working within the system sets up nicely for the the position she's in this thing, which is like, in the system, outside of the system, where do you how much do you trust authority? How much do you maintain the anti-authoritarian stuff you've had to learn to be a terrorist, a freedom fighter?
Yeah, at this point in the story, Kira is like a stray alley cat that's been taken in and domestified, and I just love her development from that. She's such a well fleshed out character. Like honestly, like one of the best female characters Star Trek has to offer.
Yeah, and there are several.
I really enjoyed seeing her come to Odo. They so clearly know each other very, very well in that scene. Like, she's coming in and Odo's like, okay, she needs to talk through something because otherwise she wouldn't be here. And she kind of almost makes an excuse to leave after she's walked in, and he doesn't let her get away with that. She says outright that she trusts his advice. They don't get around to saying what it is that she's thinking about one way or the other before he makes the call to Sisko. And I think that's actually really interesting. There's so much that isn't said out loud in that scene, but it's so very clear that they know, like, we as the audience know what she means because we were there along with her for parts of it. But like, it's so very clear that Odo knows her well enough to read between those lines and understand the conflict that she's going through. I think the conflict that she's experienced is really interesting and really gives a lot more depth to this question of where is the line where fighting for your freedom turns back and bites itself, which I think is what this episode is really wrestling with in a lot of ways. What it may land on a very, we'll call it a liberal reading, but this moment of struggle for Kira between wanting to do what is right for her people and not knowing what that is, not being willing to make the call for them because she doesn't know who the bad guy is anymore. When you're being oppressed, it's pretty clear your oppressor needs pushback. When you're in a complicated diplomatic tangle where there are lots of different nuanced parties, it's a lot less clear. And what is the right answer is almost never going to be possible to say. I think it's interesting that we do kind of see some of her lines here very clearly. No hurting people.
I really do appreciate the nuance in this episode. Right now, like in our current media, especially with like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, we've had
Flag Smasher syndrome.
Yes, exactly. Killmonger, the Flag Smashers, the Skrulls, where it's like it's an oppressed group that basically has the right ideology, but then it's like they have to justify why they're the bad guys to the audience by making them just mindlessly kill people and being like, oh look, they're too evil, too revolutionary, they have to get got. I so appreciate the nuance of this episode that they didn't just go that easy black and white morality route. Because this is like a complicated situation, and obviously we feel Kira's conflict so well, and up to a certain point, like we can empathize with Tana Los, but it doesn't paint him as the good guy while also not making him this like, cartoon bad guy. And I really like that.
Like the moment where it's unclear what he's planning to bomb, and at first you think he's going to bomb DS9, and then you think he might bomb his own people, and then it's like, no, we were never going to bomb any people, we were going to bomb infrastructure. And like that distinction is really important. And something that comes up a lot in modern discussions of insurrection, shall we say, freedom fighting, whatever you want to call certain things.
Although there's a question about, even with infrastructure, there's a question, because bomb, say, water desalination plants in the desert, you are doing violence to people. The question is, where is the wormhole on that, blowing up credit card companies, say? Or
it's not actually an easy question, right? Because it is
insurance company CEOs.
For, say, an example.
Yeah, some questions are easier than others. But like disrupting trade is essentially, if you discount the wormhole aliens, which I don't think we can.
Yeah.
But if you do, then blowing up trade infrastructure, preventing economic growth and power transfer through your location, is this not sanctions? Is this not how we do alternative international non-violent alternatives to international warfare? It's not a straightforward question, especially in our current place and time, where we are experiencing trade disruptions that are having serious material consequences for people all over the globe.
There is a direct example in so-called Canada, and I'm using that specifically, in various areas of unceded territory. Currently in BC, there's been standoffs about pipelines.
Through the US too.
the thing is, those pipelines don't actually benefit the local people. And there are other alternatives, and the pipelines are dangerous. It's very different than a situation with the wormhole. They'll be more like blowing up the railway when it was bringing food to your town. If after, say, the Blitz, if someone like bombed the Marshall Plan that the Americans did to try and help Europe rebuild after the war, if you bombed the boats bringing that, is closer to what.
And yet this is not an unheard of question of power balance. I don't know how familiar you are with the manga of Akira, for example. Just strikes me as a very strong... Well, for our listeners, those who have read the manga of Akira, the ending with Free Japan is an example of the kind of argument for refusal of aid that I think Tana was working from. Giving the Federation access to be Bajor's savior does come with costs.
Mm-hmm.
Even if that cost is soft power rather than hard. There are a lot of people who were actually kind of in favor of cutting US aid, not from the right's perspective of we shouldn't help these people, but from the left's perspective of reducing US soft power around the globe, right? There is nothing to that argument, but that doesn't mean I'm in favor of it either. A sci-fi argument from the opposite side would be the Firefly episode with Train Heist, where they find out that the thing that they were heisting was necessary medication that would save a lot of lives, and they turned down the money at their own expense, because what it is that you're fighting, what it is that you're destroying matters a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think some of the deeper questions are kind of avoided by the Federation being what it is. We have known the Federation to be broadly an altruistic force so far. We've been seeing this is a sort of benevolent relationship between the Federation and Bajor. But also, like, the Federation is culturally the hegemony, and there is a loss to working with the hegemony or being near the hegemony.
Yeah. Again, Picard said in the pilot episode, like, the main reason you're here, Sisko, is to get them to join the Federation.
Mm-hmm. But so far, we've only, in sort of the storytelling of the Federation, I've only seen joining the Federation as a good thing. This may or may not become more complicated as the story goes on.
Like, why wouldn't you want to join the Federation? You'll get transporters, you'll get food replicators. You know, all you have to do is abide by our rules. Does that sound bad?
What has Rome ever done for us?
This does have very Monty Python shades, because we are dealing with different resistance groups arguing. Because the thing is that Thanos is not making an argument for we should be isolationists. He's not running an isolationist party and seeking votes. He is blowing shit up off his own back.
The thing that he said that struck me the hardest in terms of his characterization was Bajor for Bajorans.
Yes. I wanted to bring that up.
And yet he's not consulting any other Bajorans.
Yeah. It's like,
he doesn't trust the government. What authority does the provisional government have? Right?
Yeah. It's like, why would he trust the government? They turned around and they brought in somebody who they think might be just as bad as the Cardassians, possibly even worse.
Because they're still figuring out how to be a government.
Exactly.
Except that he knows perfectly well that the Federation isn't the Cardassians, as shown by his choice at the very end.
Yeah.
But I think it's very striking that he demands blind loyalty.
Yeah, he's an utter shithill.
Yeah.
Is like, yes, protection of information is necessary. OPSEC is a big deal when you are resisting anything.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, the way that he plays, as he's put it, Sara, mind games with Kira, it really did feel like they were ex-lovers, but not in a good way.
It's serious. It reminded me of a person who I had non-romantic, but I had a close friendship with, who was extremely manipulative and would gaslight gatekeep girl boss. Like this, it's so manipulative. It's so Mean Girls. I watched Heathers on the weekend. It's like the way that he is playing her from the beginning with this. Oh, so you do that now? Oh, so I thought you were one of the good ones. It's just like,
yeah.
He's just like little twisting a little needle at every. Oh, I hate him.
Even pretending not to expect to see her there.
Yeah.
When he definitely knew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the moment like that Kira has when she realized that she's been played, and she's played right into Tanalos's plot, she's like, oh my God, I'm so stupid.
Yeah, he has her doubting herself so much. Like the whole conversation with, which is why I love the conversation with Odo. I know Odo is a cop. He's a bit of a difficult figure, but I do love their friendship. And I love how ride or die he is for her. The comparison of Tanalos speaking to her with this like needling, undermining, manipulative, passive-aggressive bullshit the whole time. Odo is just like, I trust you, you know yourself, you trust yourself. What do you want to do? I'm behind you. It's just like night and day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tana is like, trust me. And Odo is like, trust yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why manipulators and abusers will try to isolate you from people who know you, from people who actually care about you, is because they'll give you a grounding to trust yourself over the other person.
Mm-hmm. Give you a little boost and then take it away. A little boost, take it away. It's just...
So in a way, Tana is kind of like Bajor's abusive boyfriend.
We talked a bit about the what did you call it? The flag smasher syndrome before. And there is still a bit of that going on, right? Like, because there is definitely not nothing to what Tana is saying.
Mm-hmm.
There's not nothing to the argument that Kira is having with herself. She doesn't like the provisional government.
Yeah.
But she's working for them. She hates the Federation, but she's working for them.
With the flag smasher syndrome. So what it specifically is it's a very simplified version of resistance. We've only ever got one version, and we have good ideas, but we are going to perpetuate them with violence. We're going to be indiscriminate with violence, and quite possibly, in the worst instances, you get the resistance fighters just want to replace and be the new oppressors.
And that's very Tana Los.
I think the thing is that is a real thread in resistance movements.
Definitely.
In leftists and things, you do get that, in part because people come to leftism with old programming in their head.
Mm-hmm.
And, they come to anti-hierarchical movements with hierarchical programming in their head. And then they, if you don't deal with that shit, then you bring it in and you get it everywhere.
And you also have people who are acting in bad faith who see an opportunity.
Yes, there's that. I think what makes this not the Flag Smasher syndrome is we don't have
Kira.
Well, yeah, we don't have one presentation of resistance.
Exactly.
This is one version among many. We're not doing like we're not doing the Democratic parties, we can do lip service to rebellion, but really we have to stick to the systems. We have to stick to the center line. We got to do things the way they've always done.
You need to do better, Senator.
Exactly. In this, we know, we have it textualized, the resistance works because it's just been done. The person in this position is a freedom fighter. Many of the people that are still struggling to make it work on Bajor have been freedom fighters. So we know this is like, there is a whole complicated multiple streams. We are aware that we are only looking at two of them right now. Two of the streams of resistance. Looking at Kira trying to find her way and looking at Thanos, who has completely lost the plot.
Burn everything.
Not completely, but
yeah.
Yeah, and there will be other shades in that. So we're not getting black and white. And that is what makes it work, because we are getting a couple of different shades of gray and we are spending time in those shades.
Yeah. Kira is a recovering terrorist learning how to be a diplomat, whereas Tana is not quite come to a meeting yet.
And it's a conversation that we will be having with Babylon 5 as well, which is how do you, when there's been a cycle of violence, how do you stop perpetuating it? How do you do something different? You have won your freedom. How do you not become an oppressor? How do you change the conversation to do something different?
Winning is easy, young man. Governing is harder.
Exactly.
I can't believe I just quoted like the most liberal thing in this conversation.
I don't actually know what you're quoting.
Hamilton.
It's Hamilton.
Yes. I have yet to see Hamilton. I don't know if I will.
It's a liberal's wet dream.
It's excellent, but it is also a liberal's wet dream. It is both.
Yeah, great piece of art, wonderful music and lyricism. Liberal's wet dream.
Yeah, it's an opera. The characters are terrible people.
Yeah,
most
of them are slave owners.
Yeah.
One thing that did strike me about the ending is that it felt very much like Kira was choosing between the way of the resistance fighter and the way of the Federation. And choosing the Federation felt like the right option as opposed to the nuance that we got of her like struggle. And I think that if we didn't have more coming about that, which I'm sure that we do, not just because of your assurances, but just like this is episode 2. If this were further on in the series, or if it were a short series, I would feel like it was kind of Flag Smashery, right? Like it would feel like, okay, Kira, our alternate freedom fighter, has acceded to the right way, which is liberalism.
Yeah.
As I said at the beginning, I think it's a little heavy-handed here. That said, I keep going back and forth on this because I don't want to make it sound like I'm saying that Tana had the right of it, because he clearly did not. Keeping on fighting when your people have won is not the same battle.
Exactly.
It's not the same fight anymore. Things have changed. And I think one of the things that I would have liked to see here that would have made it stronger for me is if Kira had said to him, you said I've changed, but no, I think you're the one who's changed. You've become fossilized.
And we really don't get into the trauma aspect of what Tana has gone through. I mean, like, you know, in the medical bay, they show the scars that he has and the damage that he's taken and the torture that he's suffered at the hands of Cardassians. Like, they have torture specifically designed not to kill, but to cause, like, as much pain as possible. And you know, that's got to leave some psychological scarring on a person. We don't really get into the fact that this is clearly a trauma response. And we will get into the trauma of Kira's past a lot. We just don't really do that with Tana, which, you know, this is an episode with a lot of moving parts. I didn't expect it to touch on every single point of this very nuanced conversation. Yeah, it is definitely something to keep in mind. It doesn't make him right. It doesn't make his actions excusable, but it is something to think about.
And he's not the last of Kira's old comrades that we will meet.
Exactly.
And I think, like, there's something to be said that the conversation they don't have here is, although apart from very briefly, Kira sort of enthusiastically saying, "Oh, but Bajor needs your voice." Like, what if he had, instead of deciding to blow shit up, what if he'd decided to start a political party that argued from a more isolationist perspective? Now, I don't tend to like isolationist parties.
Yeah.
It's worth having the conversation because it does represent some people, and we do need to include them in the conversation.
Because otherwise, they'll feel like the only recourse they have is to blow shit up.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't even try to be part of to do things in the being part of a conversation thing. Which we haven't yet has spent much time with the political situation on Bajor. And whether that's a doable thing or not, this is an amuse bouche for future stuff.
It's Bajoran Resistance 101 for the audience.
Yes, I think that's why I like the title, Past Prologue, works, because it is like, it's telling us where we've been, and it is a precursor to a number of plots that we will have, a number of characters who will appear, Bajoran characters who will appear who have various relationships with these ideas of resistance and stuff, even if like the writers haven't come up with a lot of stuff yet. Going into the past, going into this person who can't let go of the past, and all of this stuff, it is setting up future conversations.
Yeah.
There's one more outside reference that I want to bring in for talking about Tanalos, and that is Jet from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yes. Yes, he is very, very much like Jet.
He's charismatic. He's been personally hurt. He has a goal. He has a movement. And he refuses to think about other ways to move forward, at least in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't care if innocent lives get hurt in the process.
Mm-hmm. The goal of retribution has been put above the goal of healing.
And justice.
Progress.
And there is an element of this, the fear of the oppressed wanting to become the oppressor is something that the oppressor always has, and it's part of what perpetuates oppression. Is, convincing the white people convince all the other white people that the non-white people are going to rise up and oppress them, even though most non-white people have the faintest interest in becoming oppressors and just want to live their life. But there is this fear, just like, since we're talking about since we're dealing with queer substance and subtext in this, there's also like part of homophobia is the fear that gay men will treat you the way you treat women. There's this fear that giving gay people any rights means that queer people are going to take over and we're going to be the fascist oppressors somehow. We're gonna make everybody wear rainbows.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make any sense from the perspective of like how most people want to live their lives. But it is an important like building block of the oppressor mindset. Is this fear that the oppressed will oppress you.
And the willingness to seize on any potential example and say that that's the majority.
Yeah.
The willingness of the Cardassians to think that Talos and his movement is all of Bajorans.
Yeah, like finding one token trans person who is a kitty diddler and being like, see, it's proof they're all like that.
Just because there are Black supremacists in the world does not make most people anywhere close to that. Most Black people I've ever heard talk about such things are laughing at those people.
Yeah, most people want to live their lives.
Most people just want, equal human rights and to not be oppressed and over-policed.
People do not actually want to eat the rich. They want them to be not rich. So that the rest of us can eat food.
And speaking of which, can we talk about Odo? Just being like, maybe I should just arrest this guy. Just go ahead and get it over with. Like, what a bastard cop he is.
He really is, yes.
So Odo and Bashir have the exact same impulse. Odo's is just slightly, very slightly more sensible.
Yeah.
Like at least Odo's is coming from a place of consideration, where Bashir is just wandering into Central Command and being like, this guy's a spy! You should put a tracker on him.
That Garrick, he said hi to me, and he asked me if I wanted to buy a suit.
He wanted the tracker on himself, because he wants to play spy with the spy.
Yeah.
But he's
spy curious.
Wow.
Where's my... Sometimes it becomes text.
But just like that reaction, I actually really wanted Garrick to turn out not to actually have been in contact with the Cardassians over that deal. To have just been playing everybody. And he's not a spy. He's just there. I really wanted that to happen. I thought that would have been very funny if there wasn't a Cardassian warship
Here's the
coming
thing.
in.
You've heard of a double agent. You've maybe even heard of a triple agent. Garrick is
Garrick is Garrick. Plain,
Garrick is Garrick.
Simple Garrick.
Yeah.
He is no more than he seems.
That's what he said. Well, I mean, to me, he seems like someone who is very conscious of where the wind is blowing, and also may or may not actually care about Cardassian supremacy. We'll call it that.
Yes, it is interesting the choice he makes to bring Bashir in. What do we think? Is this just like flirty time? This is an excuse to spend time with the boy? Or is he trying to, I don't know. What do we think he's trying to do?
I mean, it's clearly also that he can have multiple reasons at once. But the decision to, cultivate a means of communicating with Starfleet was clearly decided before he approached Bashir. That approach was so very clearly double motivated, even from the first second they're on screen together. Is like, There's no reason for Garrick to approach Bashir in that particular way, and it doesn't feel like just flirting. Like there's flirting. There is flirting, but it isn't just flirting. There's like very clearly I have something you could use along with it.
Mm.
It's like, ¿por qué no los dos?
Both is good.
No, it
more.
very much felt like both the whole time. Like he intended to cultivate a contact for Starfleet Command.
And if it just happened to be this
If he happens
pretty,
to be an attractive
pretty young gullible
man,
doctor.
I was actually almost surprised that he didn't hand Bashir a full tailored suit so that he could, like, yes, you have been naked in my presence. Like, just push it a little bit further.
I kind of wanted him to hand him a dress, to be honest.
Yeah, that would have been good.
But if in '93 they probably would have played it as a joke in poor taste rather than
transphobia in my Deep Space Nine.
Let's not.
We will.
Alas.
Yeah.
No, we have a guy who can turn into a mouse, but a man wearing a dress?
Yeah. I like to think of Odo as trans male, assigned non-binary.
He's literal fluid.
Whatever they have, but he chooses to be male.
He
lightly
is
gendered fluid.
Literally fluid.
Yeah.
But yeah, he presents male. And yes, he is authoritarian, and we may learn more about that in the next DS9 episode.
So far, all I've seen him enforce is the rule of no weapons.
Mm-hmm.
And quite frankly, yeah, kind of okay with that.
Yeah.
So
wanting to arrest both the Dora sisters and Tana for being dodgy.
Didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I arrest you based on vibes.
Too much boob windowage. I mean, I like boobs. I like female Klingons, but it's just a bit too much.
Yeah, it's like I mean,
why
we've
that
seen female
question.
Klingons before that don't have the boob windows, so I'm like, this. I don't understand.
Mm.
I think it'd be one thing if they were like femme fatale characters who like use their sexualities as power, but like they're not.
They're militant.
Or like the hot butch one in Star Trek V.
Yeah. Like apart from their costuming, they're actually very masculine coded.
Which is, fine for Klingons especially.
Yeah.
I find them an odd mix of masculine and feminine in a way, and I usually like mixes of masculine and feminine. But with the Dora sisters, it just doesn't quite.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it's an expression of them. I think if you're going to play with gender, it needs to be an expression of the person who's playing with their gender.
Yeah, it feels like they gave them titty windows because they thought the male audience would like to look at it.
Yeah. It's just, even if we didn't know what Rick Berman was, there's just like, if we feel the male gaze, and yeah.
And just contrasting that to Delenn, the conversation we had around Delenn's costuming, the playing with gender there is meant to be a part of her and her culture and doesn't titillate. It's not for that. It's for alienness and experimentation and characterization. Here it is, well, I think they'd look hot with a boob window, but they need to have an armor so they can have they can have pauldrons and a spine brace.
Yeah.
But also a big flaring skirt.
Much more interesting gender stuff, I think, is we've had a bit of a redesign on Kira.
Yeah, what do we think about Kira's new haircut?
Didn't even notice, to be honest.
In the pilot, she had more of like a bob, but like Nana Visitor like specifically requested that she could have that I don't know, what would you call that?
She wanted something that was low maintenance because she felt like her character wouldn't be fussing with her hair.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
we get, soft butch, which is very
Yep.
cute.
I guess, I mean, it's very much like the haircut that the psychic had in Babylon 5.
It's pretty much exactly.
And,
Yep,
and
just less spiky.
I think my brain just was like, yeah, of course Kira had that haircut too. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't even remember that she used to have longer hair.
Yeah.
I think it suits her.
I also, although I'm not a fan of cat suits, I've said this before because, especially tight ones, I think they tend to be a bit objectifying. Her uniform does have a nice sort of blending of angles and curves. But I think, again, we have a very soft butch look on her.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with the smoky eyes as well. She's strong and kick-ass soldier woman, but she's also got a softness to her. And I love the way that the smoky eyes go with her natural face shape. She's got a sort of elfin look.
Yes.
Or
like some kind of wood sprite.
Yeah, and with the coloring of her costuming, it's very striking. And I think her catsuit is less egregious because, like, a lot of people are wearing very catsuity type things. Like I said, we've got Kana and his moose knuckle.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very in line with Bajoran fashion, which you can see with Tana, and even kind of a little bit with Garrick. Now, of course, Garrick's is a little more fancy because he's a designer, but yeah, it is kind of unisex. It is still very form fitting, but at least it looks more like a cultural piece than like a titillation piece.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we are, of course, comparing to 709. Even though she hasn't been created yet, but it does sort of stand out as the example. Right, so another person who's a big part of this that I think we should spend some time on is Sisko.
Yes.
I love Sisko.
He had a very interesting position in this episode. He definitely wasn't the focus, but like he definitely had a lot of big decisions to make.
I like that he took time to make them too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he can be decisive when he needs to be, but he didn't just grant asylum on the basis of y'all were shooting at this person illegally, and he didn't just reject asylum based on, I don't like the tone of his promise that he's not with the terrorist cell anymore. Because, to be frank, that was not very convincing at any point.
Yeah, and he took Kira's opinion into consideration without letting her clear passion for the conflict like sway him. Like, he came at it at a more logical approach as opposed to emotional.
The interesting decision to me is when he and Odo decide not to tell Kira that they know that Tana's doing shady shit. And I think to me, I feel like he's giving her space to find out for herself because she's so, she's blinded by her own enthusiasm.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's honestly very emotionally intelligent as a decision.
Mm-hmm.
What actually struck me about that scene was that not only did Odo ask whether Sisko wanted her to know, Odo decided to abide by it, knowing Kira well. I thought that was very telling of, he thought that this was a wise decision on Sisko's part, too.
Yeah.
And I liked Sisko's answer of not yet, because that doesn't mean no. Mm-hmm. That means eventually we're going to tell her that we knew, that we had information. He's not planning to manipulate Kira with this. He's planning to, as you said, allow her to find out on her own terms.
I think a lot of that comes back to Sisko as a father, because in a way he is in a father role to like everyone on board, even though everyone here is adults. And he gives a lot of people like Kira kind of room to like grow and learn on their own in the way that he does with Jake. And I really love that leadership approach to him. Like he's still, always the guy who can give orders, but he does try to like let people bring out the best in themselves. And I really love that about him.
Yeah, as someone with management background, again, like this is very much something that I appreciate in his style, in his leadership style, is his trust that his subordinates, his managees will do their best. And that he can give them rein to figure that out, even when they're being the most insubordinate you can be by going over his head.
Yeah.
I like that. I think one of the ways this is, again, a bit of a prologue is the other members of the crew, the Starfleet folks, are all used to the chain of command. They don't question, him as their superior. They're not going to go over his head or anything like that. But he's giving a little leeway for Kira and Odo to kind of build their relationship with him, because they aren't part of the Starfleet. They aren't used to his kind of leadership. They aren't used to Starfleet's kind of system. So he's giving a little bit.
And he's doing it to earn their trust. I mean, not in a malicious way, but just like this is how you build trust, is you let them have their distrust and see that it wasn't real.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than trying to fight it, because that's not going to be trustworthy.
On a lesser show, you'd have him make some like big grand monologue about how he's the boss and they're gonna follow him because and he just doesn't do that. He gives them time and space, but he also puts up clear boundaries. Like what you're not gonna do is go overhead to my boss.
Yeah, and I even like the way he did that, because there was this sense of obvious exaggeration about it. That left Kira standing there with both the oh crap, I fucked up, and the I had leeway to do that, and he still likes me. Like we're still on good terms.
Yeah. Like
there's that seriousness to it, but also that shit-eating little grin he has.
Yeah. Like I wasn't just outright fired.
And there's also the decision that he makes. There's no thinking at the end that he's going to hand Thanos over to the Cardassians. We know he's going to Bajor.
Yeah.
We know that he didn't think about letting the Cardassians have him. Some would have. And who knows if Kira hadn't been on the runabout. But the decision that this is a Bajoran matter for Bajorans. Let them deal with it. I'm still gonna protect them from the Cardassians.
And he doesn't let the Cardassians get away with coming into Bajoran space either.
Mm-hmm.
Which, he's willing to cooperate with them to the extent that they are set up to cooperate. Once they cross that line, he's not okay with it. I loved that little interaction with the Cardassian commander where, he was, chastising him for not only the invasion of Bajoran space, but the threat to the station. And that guy is like, we didn't threaten you. And Sisko's like, my mistake. Like, yeah, I heard you loud and clear, and I'm not letting you just slink away. Like, you can't boss us around. You're not in a position to do that.
Yeah, that was some nice subtext in that. If you require all your visitors to undergo such strenuous docking regulations.
Yeah, malicious compliance. I love it. Interestingly, that Cardassian gold dinar, he's played by Vaughn Armstrong, who, along with Jeffrey Combs and Brent Spiner, has played is like one of the most reused actors in Star Trek.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you find someone who's willing to tolerate that stuff and can act through it, you keep them.
Yep.
All right. What is your favorite part of this episode?
I really liked the moment where they're trying to sort of build suspicion of oh, sorry, I've lost his name. Bashir's Garrick. They're trying to build suspicion of Garrick because he's staring at the Klingons. And then once Bashir sits down, he's like, "Look at their clothing. Isn't it interesting?" It's like
it bears paying attention to. Wink. And Bashir is just like, what? Yeah, I guess it's not. Yeah, that the whole. I also have to say the whole thing with Bashir and Garrick and this episode, like, considering that he's not really like a focus character, but he makes such a splash in this first episode. I just, he's an instant classic character, Garrick, and Bashir's just utter cluelessness makes it all more better. So that's my favorite part too.
My favorite part is
I love how after all of the conversation, we're still like, yeah, but Garrick was our favorite part.
I mean, he's fabulous. I really like Bashir's impossibly stupid responses. Like, I think one of my favorite detail is when he brushes the plant and it comes into the back.
That was pretty funny.
I forget how in these early seasons he's portrayed as like so naive.
Yeah, so naive, and I love Andrew Robinson coming in strong with like, I am gonna seduce this boy, and I think we've got Siddig Al-Fayed going, I'm going to be scared but horny.
Scared but horny. That's the name of my memoir.
A scared and horny twink. Yeah. Garshir is quite a delightful thing we will be following. I actually knew back in '96, I knew someone who was writing Garshir's fan fiction. It was the first trans man I ever met. The brother of a friend of mine. And he wrote Garshir fan fiction, and that is how I learned what fan fiction. I wasn't watching the show yet.
Garshir is probably like my third favorite Star Trek ship after Spurk, of course, and Janeway Chakotay from Voyager.
Heteros?
I know, right? Shocking for me. But he just it's just like he's so soft around her. Damn it.
Yeah, I love Garshir. So we have some comments from our listeners. We got some unfortunate comments, but we're going to stick with the good ones, I think, for the most part.
Thanks for the engagement, fellas, or bots.
Yeah.
Let's just say chodes.
Okay, I am actually, this is the one and only time I'm going to go into a bad comment, because I think it's worth making a point. Okay, I tried. I can't. Sorry, girls. First off, your blue sky pronoun banners are an instant turnoff. Second, as someone who watched all of this and okay, so I am using this as an example to say if you are offended by people using pronouns, we aren't the podcast for you. If you think it's appropriate to refer to female presenting people who are adults and strangers to you as girls, and not in the let's go girls sort of way, I would suggest that we are not the podcast for you. And you know what? That's fine. You can take your condescending stuff elsewhere.
Yeah.
Bye,
Thanks
Felicia.
for the engagement.
Yes, thanks for the engagements. Your comment has been deleted, and I will delete such comments. And that's the reason I'm bringing it up, is to say that I am going to be monitoring the comment section, and I will be deleting homophobia, transphobia. Also to the guy who called us whales, that has also been deleted. We're just not. I want our comment section to be a safe space. I have the attitude in my channel that this is like my online living room, and anything that I would throw you out of my house for saying, I will also throw you out of the comment section.
Also, whale is not an insult. Whales are beautiful creatures, many of whom make beautiful music.
And steer starships.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that in mind, I'm going to go to our good comments that we like. This is from Paineswalker1701. I'm glad y'all are discussing the drama between the two. I didn't watch DS9 for a long time despite being a lifelong Trekkie, because I was a B5 fan from when The Gathering premiered. This was a mistake on my part because it was clear DS9 definitely copied B5's homework. They did change it enough that they are both different enough to be worthy of watching. Also, how dare I deny myself my baby trans bi egg self more queer coded sci-fi. On a lighter note, do not mention the rivalry to Jason Carter. I walked up to it to get an autograph at CoastCon one year in full Cardassian makeup, and he went on for a 45-minute rant about how much he hates the animosity between the franchises. Still one of the most wonderful fan-celeb interactions I've seen. Paineswalker, we're here for you. You are our kind of audience. Yes. We'll discuss the differences between the two and a bit of the rivalry, but we're not here to participate in the rivalry. We're not here to rank. And yeah,
we're here
going to
out of love.
We are here out of love. We love sci-fi. We love queer coding. Mm-hmm. And yeah, we're here for we're here for those fans. Not that we're saying we don't, that those are the only fans. You know, other people are welcome. It's just, this is going to be a safe space for queer folks.
We're here, we're queer, and we like sci-fi.
Yeah,
we hope you like it too.
The only people this is not a safe space for are bullies.
Mm-hmm. And we also got another nice comment from Sean Hillman 1016. Love both shows. I am a SF track director at Jordan Con, and we have a Star Trek panel each year. And this past April, we had a B5 panel on how Babylon 5 predicted future fascism through future conflict. Looking forward to where you all go with this. Yeah, I love this comment. I love the idea, the fact that cons and stuff we're getting away from the rivalry and being able to appreciate both shows, because both shows have interesting stuff to say.
You might say it's a heated rivalry.
What?
Do you want me to drop the thing again?
I think you need to make one of your spare ones to just text without the sub. But yeah, to the comment, that's wonderful. We love to see it. And as to the predictive nature of sci-fi, you know, I always come back to that oft repeated sentiment that I first heard from Ursula K. Le Guin, that the job of a speculative fiction writer is not to tell the future, but to look at the present.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
And
because the past is
Prologue. You brought it around, yeah.
Yes.
Also, we got a comment on our trailer from Meander 112, who is one of those wonderful commenters. Yes, I think we've all had comments from him. So, second engagement for the engagement gods, because of course I believe it's he wrote engagement for the engagement gods on the version I put up on my channel.
Yes.
So yes, nice that you recognize the name. And yes,
I appreciate his comments on my content.
We love it. We love it so much. Thank you for being a continual commenter, and your continual formula is also appreciated.
Yes, indeed.
Yes. So those are our nice comments, and from here on in, we'll only read the nice comments or respectful criticism comments. We're not immune to criticism, obviously, or when we get things wrong.
But we're not here for drama.
Yeah. We're not,
except for the kind on screen.
What happens when someone leaves us a harassing or trolling comment is that Sara screenshots it, sends it to us, we make fun of it, and then she deletes it.
Yes. And and
the making fun of is vicious, just so you know.
Yes, and it's not just us three, it's
all of our friends.
We have creator groups which specifically have channels of us mocking bad comments. That's what we do when you're mean to us. No, and I don't mean like we're all fine with accepting criticism. It's
thoughtless, mean trolling is not. It doesn't help anybody, including you. I mean, it's generally been shown that it comes from a sort of dehumanization of the person on the other side of the screen. I assure you, we are real flesh and blood people. We don't deserve to be treated like something that is not.
But we also are not hurt by your nonsense mansplaining. We're not upset that we don't appeal to you.
No. If that is how you live your life, we can't help you. You gotta figure out your nonsense on your own somewhere else.
It's hard to get hurt by your comments when I'm fucking your moms.
So yeah, that's, I think, hopefully the last time we'll ever address that stuff, but it's worth addressing at least once. But we do love your comments when they are, when they add something and when they tell us something about you. We love to hear your experience of these shows.
But like I said, we're doing this out of love, and if you come to us with a comment reflecting that love, we're excited to see it.
Yes.
Yeah. So, this has been fun. Do you want to tell the folks where they can find you?
Well, you can find me on YouTube as Ren the Barbarian. I make Star Trek content, theoretically, and talk about other pop culture. You can also find me on Instagram, Tumblr, what's the other one? Blue Sky as Ren the Barbarian. I'm also running the official 9 to 5 sci-fi. I'm also running the official 9 to 5 sci-fi pod Tumblr and Instagram. The sci-fi, the Tumblr is up and running. The Instagram still a little bit under construction, but we're out here on social media if you want to come find us. Zilla?
I'm Zilla. I have a YouTube channel called Zyllas Athenaeum where I put out think pieces on political subjects, board game media reviews, random historical and linguistic tidbits, bits of activism here and there, and I also do a lot of Archeo gaming, where I play video games with ancient content in it and talk about that. I do the gaming live on my Twitch channel, which is at Zillable. That's like syllable, but with a Z. And that is the handle by which you can find me on Blue Sky or Mastodon if you so choose.
And I'm Sara Ezzat. I make the Fact Culture Critic videos on YouTube. I also make a series of videos there about conversations about joy. I hopefully would try. I've been trying to make some other videos, but I'm having some issues with neighbors doing a bunch of renovations that make it very hard to record video. And I'm also working on grad school applications, so there's that. But I run the Blue Sky and the email and the Patreon for 9 to 5. Everything is under 9 to 5 Sci-Fi Pod, all lowercase, with the numbers as numbers. If that makes sense. So you can find us on all the places under the same under the same name, except Facebook is still Muppet Sex and Trauma Facebook, because I can't figure out how to change that.
You may just have to make a new Facebook page for that.
Yeah, I may do that. Editing Sara here, just popping in with a quick promo that all of your hosts and several other friends will be doing a live reading of Midsummer Night's Dream on summer solstice, which is June 21st, 3 p.m. Pacific time. We will be doing a live reading fully cast of A Midsummer Night's Dream, and we will be doing it to raise funds for Trans Lifeline. So come join us, give to a good cause. It's always a good time. June 21st, 3 p.m. Pacific time. We will, in 2 weeks, be coming back with Midnight on the Firing Line, the first episode of season 1 of Babylon 5. And
all right.
Susan is coming.
Yay!
Here we go.
We got introduced to my favorite character here. Now we're about to get introduced to my favorite character there.
And she's not the only one we got a couple attachés coming as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be in 2 weeks. And we'll see you then. Live long and prosper.
Bye.
We are explorers.
9 to 5 is produced by me, Sara Ezzat. Editing duties are shared between me and Ren, and our wonderful theme music is made by Samantha Duke. Certain aspects of the text or subtext. This gag is going to go so well for the people who are only listening on.
They'll just hear the ka-chunk against the microphone. They'll be like, "Oh, must be the subtext fan."